next degree goes to Sri Deepak Ajit Shinde from Bangalore. Deepak Ajit Shinde is the founder and chairman of Kingdom Calling.
So finally, here I come. Life just doesn't stop testing and qualifying you. Everything is set for last all the time, and there comes heavy showers of rain. Rain gods are blessing all of us for this beautiful session. No, it's not raining here. I just saw like that. So we also made it a context. Okay, so a small setback for a few minutes of delay in the session, which usually never happens. But the lesson that I've always learned in my life when it comes to life is I will cooperate with the inevitable, because I understand in life such is the way. Rain suddenly coming and disturbing the network is inevitable. I have no control over it. So I will always cooperate with the inevitable, because I understand in life such is the way. Gracefully accept the whole thing and let's move. And we all been gracefully, peacefully waiting for session to start. And here we are. Maybe some reason he'll get the answers today for all that small setbacks or big setbacks in life. So welcome to Setback to Bounce Back with me, you and all together. Setbacks, failures, rejections, losing. Who doesn't go through it? Show me a human being, including the God incarnated. All the God incarnates. You name it. When you name them, you think of them. And tell me, who doesn't go through all these setbacks or failures, rejections, being a loser, from Ramas to Krishnas to Christs to Mahatma Gandhis to so many business tycoons that you have heard of your times or of the history or in the times to come. We all will go through it. This comes to almost everybody in life. Every time the seed decides to sprout, the Mother Earth doesn't cooperate. Nature doesn't cooperate. So the seed has to fight against the crust of the Mother Earth. And it has to fight its way through to sprout. Again, there is risk of being grazed by the goats, cows. Even if it becomes a sapling, the wind, the storm, the thunder, the floods, it has to go through everything. And that is where a banyan tree grows, which can then hold the same soil, the same Mother Earth, hold the same rains, so the same floods, can stand and brave the same storm. That's the journey for everybody. And that's nature and that's natural. But what happens here is when you have setbacks back to back. Let's say the situation where we had last year COVID lockdown, again this year we had COVID lockdown. We have back to back setbacks. In life also we have some back to back setbacks, back to back rejections, back to back failures. back to back losing. It may be back to back rejected in a marriage alliance, rejected by investors, rejected by people, rejected by the market itself. Setbacks. But these back to back setbacks, back to back rejections, back to back failures, back to back losing something in life can actually lead most of them into something which I call the setback. They just become indecisive. They become very tentative, very weak, stagnant, status quo. They just don't want to move from there because that's the tragedy of this back to back setbacks, back to back failures, back to back rejections, back to back losing something in life. It makes people indecisive. And that's the tragedy. People just don't want to act now. People just don't want to move now. People just don't want to go forward or go ahead now. They just want to be there. They're tired. They're just tired mentally, emotionally, physically, just tired. They don't want to move forward because they think they cannot see another setback. They cannot go and see another rejection. They cannot go and handle another failure. And they just become literally stagnant. No movement. And that's the story of most people. And it's justified at times. In fact, at times that excuse looks very reasonable also. Whatever I do, I am not getting success. Whatever I do, I am failing. Whatever I do, I am getting rejected. Whatever I do, I am getting some setback here or there. It actually kills you from inside. It's a very tiring experience. So at one point, it looks reasonable. People also accept. World also accepts. And that is, I think, somewhere the tragedy. Like that, only one man with multiple setbacks and rejections and failures have literally decided not to do anything in life. One fine morning, he goes to meet his master, the Buddha, and tells, I'm tired, Buddha. I can't take it anymore. I can't walk further. I just think I'm done with everything in life. I think it's okay to be whatever I am in the state of life, mediocrity, ordinary, normal, whatever you want to call, but I think I'm dead tired. Buddha said, let's go for a nature walk. And they both started walking. Buddha said, is it so tiring right now? Is it so draining that you feel it's done, you're over with it? Man said, yes, you have given me enough inspiration, you have given me a lot of motivation, a lot of lessons of life. Everything is there, but still sometimes, and I've been right now going through that phase that whatever I'm doing is just not helping me out. I think I'm done with it. I think I want to resign from everything. And I don't know what I will do. As they're walking by the river, there Buddha showed, can you see that dead fish in the river? The young man turned his eyes towards it and he saw one dead fish in the river, which was just flowing with the river, slow river. Buddha said, that fish is dead. It is still flowing in the river. So even if the fish is dead, the river is flowing, river is moving. It will go where it wants to go. It will reach where it has to reach. And this dead fish, as long as it is there floating and flowing, it also will keep flowing. So anyway, the river is changing. Its movements, its direction, its speed, its terrain, it's changing. It's moving, it's flowing. And then there are also those fishes that they are alive inside that river. who at times choose to go against the current, sometimes choose to flow with the current, and then they find what they want to have, and they live and they continue to live because river is anyway moving. And the Buddha continues saying that, don't you think, young man, even the life is like that river, it's still flowing. It is not stopped, right? You choose to stop, that's okay. But life is still continue to flow, life is still moving. So helplessly you also are getting flown with the movement of the life. Now either you can be a dead fish and kept flowing with the flow wherever the life goes, or you can be also those alive fishes who still make their choices, sometimes against the current, sometimes with the current, sometimes doing this, sometimes doing that, but because they're alive, they know they will have a life of their own in the same flowing life. So whether you are a dead fish in the flowing river or you are a fish which is alive in the river doesn't stop flowing. It continues to flow, it is continue to change. Then what's stopping you from not changing? You're not a dead fish. The young man said, I think I got my answer. Enough. I want to go back and start again. Buddha had a smile and said, go. Go. And I think it makes me so much sense that even if I have lost something, even if I got rejected, even if I have got a setback in life, even if it is locked down, market is closed, market is not opened up, people are not working, people are not coming to work, finances are not moving, money is not in the current, whatever is the setback. But the truth is, from 2019 we moved into 2020, and 2020 has turned into 2021, and 2021 we're almost in month of July. Half of the year is gone and it is still flowing, and the time will continue to flow and time will continue to move. Are we still going to sit back? Are we still going to be tentative? Are we still going to be weak? Are we still going to become indecisive? Because this one thing happens, which I've seen with back-to-back setbacks and failures, is people just become indecisive. And this indecisiveness brings out inaction. The worst thing that can happen to human life is inaction. Inaction because of indecisiveness, and indecisiveness because of back-to-back setbacks and failures. So either you can choose to be a dead fish and helplessly still keep flowing with the life, because life doesn't stop. And you're not dead. So your condition will be, then those people's condition will be even more worse than a dead fish. At least dead fish does not know it is alive. Dead, it is going on moving with the flowing water. In your case and my case, we know we are not dead, but we are living like a dead man. Still flowing, still changing with the life which is changing by itself every day, every moment. Then being a dead fish, why not choose to steer our life? Anyway, we are alive. One more decision. One more attempt. Because I had all these setbacks, rejections, failures, back to back when it happens. Either you can choose to continue to rant this, why me God, why me God, why me God, why me God. Or we can choose to say, enough of trying me God. Enough of trying me God. In fact, even that one correction I've made into my mind now in last few months after seeing what is happening in my life. There are a lot of times we try to get some words to rhyme properly so that we can make much more impact in our speech. So you should tell, then saying, why me God? Say, try me God. No, try me God is something like fiddling God. Okay, do something to me also. Come. I'm doing nothing. Simply sitting Vella, you come and do something to me. Why to instigate God by saying, try me, God, try me, God? Now I've decided, God, there are 7.2 billion people are there. Try with them. Now don't try with me. Enough. Now I don't know. Nor I say, why me, God? Neither I want to say, try me, God. I only keep telling, enough of trying me, God. Leave me alone. These are my simple words to God nowadays. Don't try me. Nor I say, why me, God? No question to God's plans, no question to life's plan. He is in his own mood right now. Let him be in his own mood. Let me find my way to survive, to reach where I want to reach and achieve what I want to achieve in life. A lot of happiness and success. I want to find my way. You have so many things in the world to do. You keep doing it. Why me, God? I'm not complaining. Nor I'm fiddling with you, or nor I'm instigating you saying, try me, God. I'm only telling myself and telling God and telling life. Stuck in the flow. Okay. I am just telling God, leave me alone. मैं तुम्हारे को उंगली नहीं करेगा, तुम मेरे को उंगली नहीं करना. If you don't like my language, that's okay. But that's how I talk to my God. मैं तुम्हारे को उंगली नहीं करेगा, तुम मेरे को उंगली नहीं करना. बस enough of trying me, God. One more attempt. One more decision. Even if there are baby steps, it's okay. Take small steps. Let's start from beginning there. That is how you set back. Don't sit back. Because even if you sit back like the dead fish, water is flowing, life is moving. And you will be also getting moved with it where you don't want to be. And you will continue to carry, life will keep carrying you everywhere like a dead weight which you don't want to be, and it will make you go where you don't want to. Then I think it's time for you and me to steer our life, change the gears. Speed of your life depends upon the speed at which you take tough decisions in life. Your life is steered by the decisions which you take in your life, and especially those tough decisions in life. And one tough decision I have taken in my life is, no matter what happens, I will not sit back. I will sit back. Reskill yourself, upskill yourself, upgrade yourself. Take the time when you are broken. Take the time when you have sitting idle. Take the time back because you had an accident. Because I have known for people personally who have been quadriplegic, which means nothing below their neck functions. I know people who are full-time life wheel-bound on a wheelchair. I know for people who don't have limbs. And I also know these people, out of so many of them, these people are magically legends in their own fields. I have the blessing of knowing Mr. Ramakrishnan, who became quadriplegic when he was 20, when he went to SSB interview for Naval Selection Board. In one of the physical examination tests or physical endurance test, he lost the balance and he hit a board on the floor and became quadriplegic below his neck. At 21 years, the young man who had a fabulous, brilliant future became quadriplegic. Nothing he could do by himself. And I've seen it. I had an opportunity to host him in my office a decade back. And I was shocked to know that eventually this young man, few years later, after being like that, wheel-bound for a few months, maybe a year, began from wherever he could begin, small steps, small steps. And today he has a 23-acre of campus in which he has multiple startups. That time it is called small businesses. Amar Seva Sangam is the name of his campus. You can go and Google it out. He runs a school where there are thousands of them who are physically handicapped. He adopted few villages. In 2003, he was awarded Prime Minister Entrepreneur of the Year award. 3 president and 1 prime minister had gone to him and visited him in his place to salute him for his work. Recently, he has the second largest bedded hospital for only quadriplegic patients after military services have it. Bounced back, big bounce back. He didn't choose to sit back. I also had this beautiful opportunity to meet and teach this Paralympian from India, Malti Holla from Bangalore itself. Attended my sessions, both mutual inspiration to each other. Number of gold medals she has won for the country is crazy. Runs an NGO, worked in a bank, lived a very beautiful book written on her, Differently Abled or Different Spirit, Malti Holla. I can give you examples. Arunama Sinha, thrown out from the train, volleyball captain of India, loses both her limbs, and then eventually becomes the first one to climb Mount Everest. And there stories goes on. The question is not how long will you sit back. Eventually we will move on. Eventually we all have moved on. Now whether you move on like the dead fish or you move on by taking some decision to steering your life. Even if there are baby steps, small steps, start. If you can't fly, at least run. If you can't run, at least walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, at least keep moving inch by inch like a snail. But keep moving. Because movement is life. Life means movement. Stagnancy is death. I'm not guaranteeing that just because if you move, will you not have another setback? You may have. We all have. Regularly we will all have. From small to big. But that is going to happen. That is the paradox of life. Kuch karo to bhi problem. Na karo to bhi problem. If you do something, there is something going to happen. If you don't do something, also something is going to happen. Not making a choice also is a choice. For that choice also you have to bear a consequence, right? If you make a choice, there will be a consequence. Maybe positive, maybe negative. That's the mystery of life. If you don't make a choice, it is also a choice, and for that choice also you're going to have a consequence. Then may as well make a choice. And be ready. Upgrade, upskill, reset, reboot. 100 things can be done. The time when you are there in the hospital because you had an accident. Rewrite your future. You're dumped by a loved one. Okay, go. Can't stop it. Go to that bar, sit, drink, smoke. But sit and plan the future now. Go become Devdas if you want to for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But at that time, use your intelligence, use your mind, whatever it can work, whatever amount of work it can do. Plan your future now. Rewrite your story. One more time. One more attempt, one more decision. Even if it is slow, it's okay. Because when your leg is broken, it is plastered, fractured. You cannot immediately get up, even if your mind is ready. Even if you're emotionally very strong, you still cannot get up because your leg is fractured, is broken bone. You cannot, it needs time to heal. But when you're sitting there lying in the hospital for 21 days to 30 days, rewrite your future. And then start step by step. You can't straight away get up from the hospital and run. You start slowly. Are we back here? Okay. There is a little internet issue, so kindly cooperate. Take steps, no, baby steps, and move, and eventually you will run. And we have people, or we have the world history filled with people like this. Why is it that we all love to read the history, but we don't want to be a part of the history? It's such a sad situation. One of the craziest thing they teach in the schools and colleges is they teach the history of people, but somehow they can teach how to create history now. And we love to. I have given so many examples of historic figures in my programs, in my talks, in my inspirations, in my motivations. But what I feel proud of myself is every time I have a setback in life, I make sure I don't want to quote history, but I want to quote myself in my history. Why is it when it happens, when other people get setbacks or failures or rejections, we all have enough inputs, enough motivation to give it to them, but when we ourselves go into some setback or some kind of rejection or failures, it just doesn't occur to us. We don't mind talking history, we don't mind reading history, we don't mind quoting history, but we just don't want to be a part of history, and we don't want to create history. Every setback is a chance, an opportunity for you to create history. Every setback, every fall, every failure is a brilliant opportunity for you and me to write our history, to create history, so that times to come, people will speak about you and me and quote. Like today, how we quote Mahatma Gandhi's and Jesus Christ and Ramas and Krishnas. Tomorrow, the world should be able to, or our generation, or coming generation, should only quote you and me, because we shown by example that when we got setback, how we bounce back. You and me can become a story. You and me can also become a story. Big story. Because all those people who have become big story are also like you and me, ordinary. They're not born great. They achieve greatness by bouncing back in life. So can we. The glory of human being is not in never falling, but rising up every time he or she falls. Glory of a human being is not in never falling, but rising every time he or she falls. And that's the glory of human being. Put me down 1,000 times, and I will bounce back 1,001 times. Put me down 1,000 times, and I will bounce back 1,001 times. Should be a thought process, should be the mindset, should be the emotional strength. The harder you press the spring, the faster and higher it bounces back, isn't it? The harder you press the spring, the faster and the higher it bounces back. You decide whenever you have a setback, how long you're going to allow it to press you. How long are you allowing it to press you? Because at one point of time, you also realize that enough is enough. But when will be that enough is a choice that you have to make. And once you have made the choice, somehow life will create a way. Somehow life will pave a path for you to bounce back in life. And we have enough examples. Enough examples. When you get a setback, a momentary failure or a failure, and everything is temporary. Setback is temporary, bounce back is also temporary, success is temporary, failure is temporary, everything in life is temporary, nothing is constant. So when this happens, I always tell people, when you have a pain, long time back in the schools or in some movies somewhere, they have always shown that they will draw one line on the board, blackboard or whiteboard, and they will ask how to make this line smaller without rubbing it. And the answer is very obvious: draw another bigger line. Once you draw a bigger line, the existing line will become small automatically. Similarly, when you have a setback, a rejection, or a failure, or a loss in life, how to come out of it? There are two ways. One is negative way, one is positive way. I'll give you both. So let's say you have a small cut on your finger because of something and it's bleeding and you feel pain is there. And you start, ayo, amma, ayo, I was paining so much, paining so much. And then one bike comes and hits you. And it hits you in wrong place. Now that pain is bigger than this pain. Now, will you remember this small pain? No, because you have got a bigger pain. So how to come out of the smaller pain? Find bigger pain. That is negative way of coming out of the existing pain. You lost lakh of a rupee. You are feeling sorry for that. You are depressed for that. How to come out of it? Wait. Somebody will rob you for 10 lakh rupees, then you'll forget this 1 lakh rupee. That is also one way, drawing a bigger line. Or do something which I always do. I draw a positive line. Someone lost their loved one recently. In these all circumstances, what we are going through, directly, indirectly. And the whole family was in sad mood, depressed. Big setback. A loved one, elderly person, head of the family, when you lose, it's a major setback in life. All feeling sad, depressed, down, low. I said, either you can hold on to this feeling for a long time that you have lost something. And problem with the feeling is this. The law of life is like that. As you think, so you become. And as you feel, so you attract. The moment you hold any emotion and stretch it for too long, not only it is stretched longer, it also goes deeper. And the deepest emotion will attract that kind of things in your life. If you have a happy emotion and you stretch it for too long, it will go deeper. So you have deep happiness, you will attract more happiness in life. When you have a painful emotion and you stretch it for too long, then your emotions of pain also will go. So you have painful emotion that has gone deeper, and deep pain will only attract more pain in your life. Deep happiness will attract more happiness. Deep pain will attract more pain. Deep sadness will attract more sadness. Deep depression will attract more depression. Deep losses will attract more losses. The choice is yours. So I told them, I understand, I'm sensitive towards your loss, but I see how fast can you come out of this, because but we don't know how to come out of it. You can't know, then do one thing I give you. Either you wait for another death to happen in the house, then you'll forget this. No. How can you say that? Then if not that, I'm telling you, this person whom you lost in your life right now recently, do one thing. On that person's name, start one trust. Or do lot of good. If you lost your father, if you lost your brother, if you lost your mother, on their name start a trust and start helping people. Or tomorrow morning, go to the nearby place of worship where he or she used to go and serve people for next 1 week. And for these 13 days, instead of crying in the house and cribbing about the whole thing, 13 days serve food, donate clothes, do something good on his or her name. And doing that good, it will help you to come out of that sad feeling, because now you are doing something which is more beautiful, more positive. And I think the man or the woman who left you now will definitely rest in peace, because they know in your name nobody is crying. They're only adding more goodness to your name. पापा के नाम से बांटो, मम्मी के नाम से बांटो, भैया के नाम से डोनेट करो, दीदी के नाम से डोनेट करो. You're actually adding value to their name even after they die. Isn't it a bigger line to be drawn? One more way, beautiful way of drawing a bigger line than to wait for something more bad to happen in life. This is also a bounce back, right? This is also a bounce back. You went through difficult emotions of loss of a life, and you came out of it with such grace and such poise. Remarkable bounce back, I call it as. This is also a bounce back. Bounce back doesn't mean always that you became a great success. From the loss, you became a winner. From failure, you became a mega success. That is one way of looking at the world. But I think when you have emotional losses, you can actually come out with a lot of grace, a lot of poise. This also is a bounce back. Make a choice. One more decision, one more attempt. Even if they are small, it's okay. Continue with that. Life means movement. Movement is life. Stagnancy is death. Keep moving. I'll give you two another ways. Or two ways you can deal. Either you can be, even if you choose to be a dead fish, you have to anyway flow. Then create two mindset. One mindset is you work in faith. Either you face whatever setback, rejection, failures you got in life, and tell yourself, God upsets your plan because He has better plans for you. Maybe I am not given this, maybe I have failed here, maybe I have been rejected here, because maybe I am not rejected, I have been redirected. God upsets your plan because He has better plans for me. And in that thought process, keeping that faith in your mind, in this philosophy, you flow with the life. You flow with the flow. This happened, this rejection happened, this diversion happened, you take that turn and you continue. Dead end comes, then you take a U-turn, and then you flow with the flow, keeping in mind God upsets your plan because He has better plans for you, and move. Like when Sachin Tendulkar wanted to become a pace bowler, he went to MRF Academy and he wanted to be a pace bowler. The director of the MRF Academy said, for your height, you cannot become a fast bowler. You cannot become a pace bowler. It will be difficult for you to bowl bouncers back to back. But for the kind of body structure you have and the stance you have, you can actually become a very good batsman. Rejected, redirected. And he chose to become a batsman, and the rest is the history. I don't think anybody has seen a batsman of his caliber, his talent, his skill, his competency, his temperament, his poise, his legacy like Sachin Tendulkar. God upset his plan because God has better plans for him. Maybe that is what he would have told, or maybe I am trying to understand. Maybe that is how he, because I didn't hear about he went into depression. I didn't hear about he went into attempting to commit suicide because he was not given chance to be a bowler. God upsets your plan because He has better plans for you, and then you act accordingly, make those decisions, and go with the flow. There's 100 centuries he has scored together, put together one day international and test match cricket. But he has only played 100 matches, or he would have played more than 300, 400 matches or 500 matches. What does it mean? He also have been bowled on zero for multiple times. But the world remembers only the centuries. The world does not remember zeros and duckouts. You know what? This world has a very poor memory. It doesn't remember anything, neither your success nor your failure. What is your latest update? What are your latest version of yourself? What is your latest glory? Or what is the latest story? That's only is in the mind of the world. So don't worry about the world. World does not have a good memory. It's a very, very poor memory. Those people who died last year, big people, we don't remember any one of them. They've gone as dates. Data deleted. So don't worry about you and me also. Worry about your own self. Worry about your own self. Amitabh Bachchan, superstar. But we wanted to be a radio announcer. Went to All India Radio and they told your voice is blah 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 blah, rejected. And Amitabh Bachchan thought, I think I'm redirected. Then fast forward. Today you know, God of acting in our country is Amitabh Bachchan. The first family of Bollywood is Amitabh Bachchan. The ultimate name in movie industry today is Amitabh Bachchan. Did he bounce back? And he is an epitome of bouncing back. Not once, not twice, not at least 3 times or 4 times. I myself have witnessed in front of my eyes in my lifetime. He has bounced back from the Coolie movie to ABC to KBC. See, ABCL is Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited, flopped. And then KBC. So from ABC to KBC, So I'm back. Just give me a thumbs up or yes that I am visible and audible to all of you. So we'll continue from where we left. So we're coming back again and setback to come back, setback to come back. Give me input. Am I visible to all of you? Okay, here we go. Good. Keep moving. That's important. So what? And I think I just love my programs. I somehow feel every time I take programs like this, life always participates with me. So this is called online training, online practice ourselves. So you know that's how I practice. I don't get bugged up. I don't feel, yes, what is this nonsense going on. I don't just feel low about the whole thing. I said, okay, let's see what I can do from my side. I'll keep doing it. What the team can do, they will do from their side. I'll play my part. Let him do what he wants to do. I'm telling him again and again, enough, don't try me more, enough. That's it. Till I complete the session, you are not going to take this off. And this is the last 15 minutes. I have 10 minutes I want to speak, and it has to be absolutely the way I want it. I'm good. Don't why me God. No, I'm not asking why me God. Nor I'm going to ask him try me God. I'm telling him right now, enough of trying me God. 10 minutes, don't disturb me. With Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan, very clear. God upset their plan because they have better plans for God has better plan for them, and they go flow with the flow, not rejected, redirected. Thomas Alva Edison so beautifully said, 9,999 times. This can be debated. People have multiple numbers to it. 9,999 times. I just know how not to make a bulb. I was not rejected. I was redirected, and I did not sit back. I set back myself, and I made bounce back. And today we have bulb because of his attitude. Or I don't know what he would have thought, but you and people like me, we derive something from there that can be inspiration, which would have inspired him, motivated him to move forward in life. So either you flow with the flow, with this mindset, God upsets your plan because he has better plans for you. Or there's one more way to bounce back big in life. And I think that's very courageous, very dynamic, but I think that has shaped the world a lot. Flowing with the flow maybe have shaped the person's life or person's world, but what I'm going to speak with you right now has not only shaped the world, shaped the person, but also the world by itself. You get setback, you get failure, you get frustrated, you get irritated, you actually get very angry with life. And then you say, enough is enough. I don't take this anymore from you. And then you do something which I call as moral revenge. You just take moral revenge in life. Mahatma Gandhi was thrown out of the railway compartment because he was different color, thrown lying down on the platform. He processed something in his mind, very deep inside to his emotions. Said, you threw me out of the train. Now look what I will do. I'll throw you out of my country itself. Did he do it? Oh, he did it brilliantly. It took him years. It took him decades to do that. But that's moral revenge. Bounce back? Oh, he threw people back to their country. Bounce back. You have anger, you have frustration, you are hurt. Moral revenge. That's an amazing way of bouncing back in life. Jayalalitha, Amma, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, much before she became CM, when she was just another worker in the party, and in the assembly, it seems, somebody from the ruling party pulled her pallu. And everybody laughed. Nobody said anything. And she got so upset by that hurt, that insult. And she promised that day, next time she will step inside this assembly will be only as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, nor otherwise, never in her life. And as she said, took some time, few years, and years later next time she stepped only as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And what a historic CM she had been. A woman at that place and that position, magical, bounce back, big bounce back. Leo Iacocca, vice president of Ford Motors at that time, he writes a book by name itself, Leo Iacocca, and I have quoted this n number of times in my programs. Said one fine morning I was just thrown out of the company. I don't know for what reason. Henry Ford too. There I was on the roads. I didn't know what to do. I was so upset. I was so angry. I felt like going and murdering Mr. Ford. But I was not that courageous to do that. But the insult was so humiliating. I felt like going and committing suicide. But I also realized I'm not that coward also. So what to do? Said I chose to take moral revenge. He went and joined Chrysler Motors, and within few years, Chrysler Motors in small car segments beat Ford Motors. And they said that day morning, he said, when Mr. Ford would have read the newspaper and read there that Chrysler Motor has taken over and surpassed sales of small cars than Ford Motors, he said, that day my moral revenge felt complete. Bounce back. And bounce back big. And history is filled with people like that. And you yourself may be having so many stories in life. When somebody said, no, you cannot do, you said, I will show to you. And you grew up, you bounced back big. Sometimes hurt instructs like nothing else. And that's the power you have. Anger is very destructive power. It can destroy you, it can destroy other people whom you throw. But if you can channelize anger, if you can channelize hurt, I think there's nothing more powerful than anger and hurt. Very powerful emotions. If you direct them well, they can actually help you to set back, to bounce back in life. So either you follow the first one which I told, flow with the flow. If that is the temperament, if that is the God's wish, I'll wholeheartedly accept it and move forward in life. But I'll keep moving. Because I know God upsets your plan because He has better plans for me or better plans for you. And so you keep moving forward. But movement is pakka. No dead fish life. Or you think you have been really big time hurt, cheated, betrayed, you're angry, then take moral revenge. Push yourself. Sleepless nights, then sleepless nights. 24/7, then 24/7. Then it is not the time of giving your best. Then give whatever it takes. It takes your sweat, it takes your blood, it takes everything. You give everything of yours to that. But bounce back. You don't sit back. And history is filled with example, and you can be one who can make that history for tomorrow's world. I have made enough moments in my life, enough events in my life, enough experiences in my life where I have bounced back from bad health, almost saw death twice in its eyes and came back from that death and lived life to the fullest, 24/7, high on energy. Financial losses to the tune of crores. Relationship loss, that peace of heart was taken away. But one relationship lost, and I created 100 more relationships in my life. One financial loss, and I'm going to create financial abundance for me and my people for lifetime. One health loss, and I'm going to create such a healthy and fit body for myself in times to come, and that's how I live my life. Any time life puts me down or people puts me down, I only tell, I'll prove you wrong. I'll show you. Not out of ego, nothing to prove to anybody, to prove to myself that I strongly believe if spirit is not lost, nothing is lost. Nothing is lost if spirit is not lost. The world can take away your hands, the world can take away your legs, the world can take away, if they have not taken away your spirit, nothing is lost. There's one beautiful guy, human being, I think his name is Nick. I've not heard him, but he comes with so many motivational videos from New Zealand. No hands, no legs. He enjoys life to the fullest. He's married, he has kids, he does swimming, he gives lectures in corporates and mega events. I said, that's the man. Nothing is lost if spirit is not lost. A merchant went for a holidays and come back and sees his entire shop is burnt ash into ash. The whole town thought he's over. Everybody next day morning wanted to go and see him and give him some counseling and some console. But they were shocked to see next day morning there was a huge board written, shop burnt, goods burnt, everything lost, faith not lost, spirit not lost, starting tomorrow. Everybody was shocked. That's the spirit. Shop burnt, goods burnt, everything lost, faith not lost, spirit not lost. If spirit is not lost, nothing is lost. But if spirit is lost, even if you have everything, you have lost everything anyways. The last words of Gautam Buddha are most amazing words anybody has said. And I think the last words of all great people have been phenomenal prophecies of life. The last words of Gautam Buddha in today's context make so much sense. As he was dying and taking his last breaths, they asked him, what is the message? What are the last words you want to say for the world? And he said, he's always spoken Pali language. So he said, Charayavati, Charayavati. Means go on, go on. Go on and go on. That's it. Charayavati, Charayavati. Last words of Gautam Buddha. I think it makes everything clear, crystal clear in just two words. Setback, Charayavati, Charayavati. Rejection, Charayavati, Charayavati. Failures, Charayavati, Charayavati. Loss, Charayavati, Charayavati. Success, Charayavati, Charayavati. One relationship added, continue. One relationship lost, continue. Charayavati, Charayavati. How I say is this: never stop. Just another hop. Don't be gone. Just go on. Don't stop. Just one more hop. Don't be gone. Just go on. And that's life. See, till my last word I speak, God will not disturb me. This life will not get disconnected no matter how long I speak. I told him 10 minutes and 10 minutes undisturbed. I don't fiddle with you, you don't fiddle with me. I'm very clear in my communication from now onwards. I'm not complaining why me God, nor I'm going to say try me God. I'm only telling enough of trying me God. So here is one beautiful testimony. The session itself is testimony of multiple setbacks. We didn't sit back. We set ourselves back and bounce back to complete the session. And with these statements, I'm telling all of you, don't stop. Just one more hop. Don't be gone. Just go on. Charayavati, Charayavati. See you at the top. All the times. Love you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. All the best. Set back to bounce back with you always. And don't miss my last session of training program of mine on 11th of July, next Sunday. And that will be my final program on life. So with that, signing off from you. Thank you for logging in. Thank you for joining in. And if you like these kind of programs of mine, even if my last training program is on 11th, don't forget to click, share, like, subscribe, but set back to bounce back. You need to. You should. And I know you will. Bye. All the best. Have you wondered that you're doing so good consistently producing results and suddenly there is a drop in your performance? Why? Even when you know you can, you still don't do it or don't go for it. You want to know why? Then join me in my last and final life-based training program. See you there.